Maybe give him a bit of space.
Eddie, you gotta break it out. Corner, Eddie, break it out.
What's happening?
Eddie, how excited?
Cornered.
How excited are you for the first Ring magazine to kick it off?
Yeah, I mean, look, we obviously Riyadh season is crazy, and this is an extension of that in a way. And I never expected, people say, how long will this, Riyadh season and boxing in Saudi Arabia last? Now you've seen the commitment. This is a further commitment from His Excellency. It's just wild. Like, how can you sit there? I mean, we live off trying to raise, revenue for the event, driving a big gate. Now you've got spectacles that aren't gate dependent, like this, where you're shutting down Times Square for a fight. And I think for the profile of the sport, it's incredible because boxing at the moment is red hot,
How many seats actually will be in Times Square?
I think that's one to be discussed. I don't think that necessarily, obviously this isn't a show for seats. Do you know what I mean? This is a show for a live spectacle. And, the vision that these people have is like anything I've ever seen before. I mean, when you're sitting there and they're talking about Alcatraz and underneath Brooklyn Bridge and shutting down London Bridge in the UK, like you've never seen it before. And actually, when you actually think about it, it's super smart. Because we sit there as promoters saying, there's no gate. But the bigger picture is the fascination of tuning in. You imagine if you did an event in Alcatraz, like the casual fans that would tune in and go, what on earth is going on here? And this is the vision that these people have.
Eddie Hearn. New Yorkers don't feel safe about it. How do you feel about that?
Really?
Yeah.
I believe this event, I mean, we're involved in the operations of the event, and, I believe this will be done at the highest possible level, as always, everything they do.
Eddie, I gotta ask you, Eddie. I mean, it just happened last weekend. First question, Tank Roach, what are your thoughts on the draw, and who do you think won?
You know what, honestly, I haven't watched the fight. We had a show that night. I haven't watched the full fight. One thing that's kind of baffling is that it wasn't a knockdown. I mean, look, he wasn't hurt. There's no doubt about that. But if you take a knee in the fight and you touch down, whilst punches are being thrown, it has to be a knockdown. I've heard some people saying, that he should be disqualified. He went back to the corner. I don't buy that, to be honest with you. I mean, I think that's a warning. But it's a bit of a bizarre situation. For me, like, there was a lot of people in boxing that were saying that this is a really tough fight. Like, Lamont Roach is a serious fighter. I said it might not be the biggest profile fight, but it's actually quite a tough fight. And Shakur said to me, like, even the day before, I'm telling you, he's going to have big trouble tomorrow night. And I just feel like hopefully this could be the little something that gives Gervonta a little wake-up call to take him back to the mindset of maybe where he was.
Do you think New York State overturns it?
No, I don't think they do.
So, Eddie, now
For an immediate rematch if they don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the reality is can the state call for an immediate rematch? I don't believe they can, the commission. It's really up to the governing body. I mean, the commission can overturn a decision or rule on a decision, but can they order a rematch? That really has to come from the governing body, the WBA, to say, if you want to remain lightweight world champion. But everything I'm hearing is the rematch is going to happen anyway. Like, I think it's pretty much done.
Talk to us about the star power in this May 2nd card.
Yeah, I mean, you've got three of the hottest young fighters in terms of that, that social media presence, that digital presence, and the reach out of, that younger generation. Ryan Garcia, huge name. Devin Haney, huge name. Teofimo Lopez, huge name. And do you know what? What I like about it as well, they're all in real fights. I love Rolly. I think he's a great character, but I think Ryan will deal with him well. There's a lot of mystique over the comeback of Devin Haney. Don't forget, it's going to be a year since the comeback. I think it's the right fight for him. But also at the same time, Ramirez is coming off a defeat. I think Teo's got a tough fight against Barboza. We just had him on our show. He won a close decision, but his confidence is going to be rising. And Teo is, like, I've got to say, I love Teofimo Lopez. He's well out there. I don't know what I'm just watching him walking around. I think, I want to be on your planet. Do you know what I'm saying? I want to be on Teofimo's planet.
Eddie,
that's actually a tough fight.
Eddie, now that we've seen Gervonta, challenged in the ring with a great boxer, how do you feel that the Shakur fight will go between him and...
No disrespect, but it's only now. I mean, you guys know how good Shakur is, but it's only now after Saturday people are going, oh yeah, I think Shakur can beat Tank. We've known it for ages. Like, I have so much confidence of Shakur Stevenson beating Gervonta Davis. But they're two of the best lightweights in the world. They're two of the best fighters in America. It's a natural fight to make. The only thing I'll say is I think the Lamont Roach fight gave PBC another option. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I'm hearing he'd agreed to fight Jake Paul, which is just the most bizarre thing I've ever heard in my life, but that's boxing. But actually, the draw gives him another opponent in a bigger fight, because it's a much bigger fight now, right? So they've come out of it okay, because now they've got another option for later in the year to go back to the same arena or Atlanta or wherever they're going to go and make a much bigger fight, the rematch against Lamont Roach.
Absolutely. And Eddie, do you think we ever see a Shakur versus Keyshawn Davis?
No, they're like best mates. I mean, he's told me he would never fight Keyshawn.
No chances.
I don't. I mean, that's one for the guys. But the way I see it, no way.
I mean, Turkey got the bag though. You think if Turkey throws him a good bag,
they're very loyal to each other. They're very close, and I doubt it. I think for me, the best fight in the division, what I'd like to see is I'd like to see Shakur Stevenson against Gervonta Davis and Keyshawn Davis against Andy Cruz. And the winners fight the winners.
That's a good
Eddie,
one.
we gotta ask you about